It is the ultimate generational irony. The kids who drank from garden hoses, rode bikes without helmets, and were told to just come back when the streetlights turn on, are now being criticized for being too deeply involved in their own children's lives. How did a generation famous for its whatever attitude become so fiercely protective? If you want to understand Gen X parents, you have to look at the massive paradox between the childhood they lived and the childhood they are trying to create. If you were a kid in the 1970s or early 80s, your defining after-school experience was the sound of a deadbolt unlocking to a completely empty house. For the first time in American history, both parents were entering the workforce en masse. Between 1970 and 1990, the number of working mothers with young children skyrocketed from roughly 37% to nearly 60%. This birthed the era of the latchkey kid. According to marketing researchers, Gen X is statistically one of the least nurtured, least parented generations in modern U.S. history. If you had a problem at school, your mom wasn't marching down to the principal's office to fix it. If you had drama with friends, your dad told you to figure it out. You were forced into a daily routine of absolute autonomy. On the surface, this built incredible self-reliance, but underneath, that independence was often glued together by a quiet, lingering loneliness. Fast forward to today, talk to Gen X parents, and you'll find a striking level of self-awareness. Many will openly admit that their hands-on parenting style is a direct, conscious rebellion against the empty houses of their youth. They swore they wouldn't be overbearing. They valued their childhood independence. But the moment they brought a baby home, the memory of navigating life entirely alone kicked in. But they aren't exactly helicopter parents. Sociologists have coined a different term for Gen X: stealth fighter parents. Unlike a helicopter parent who hovers 24/7, a stealth fighter parent will let you handle your own daily friction. They will let you scrape your knee or figure out your own homework, but the second a serious threat appears, a bully, an unfair teacher, a genuine crisis, they drop out of the sky, fully armed and ready to fight for their kid with an intensity that catches everyone off guard. So, what does this look like psychologically? Developmental psychologist Diana Baumrind famously categorized parenting into different styles based on two metrics: warmth and expectations. Gen X naturally gravitates toward the authoritative style. This shouldn't be confused with authoritarian, which is strict and cold, or permissive, which is warm but lacks boundaries. Authoritative parenting is high in both warmth and expectations. The Gen X message is, "I am here for you. I love you, and I am paying attention to you, but you are still going to face the consequences of your own actions." And decades of psychological research prove this is the gold standard. Kids raised this way tend to have lower anxiety, better emotional regulation, higher self-esteem, and greater problem-solving skills. Gen X is intuitively offering the emotional safety net they lacked without sacrificing the resilience they were forced to learn. But applying this parenting style today is exhausting. Gen X is raising kids in a world completely alien to their own analog childhood. They are the first generation forced to parent through the social media era. Having grown up in a time where embarrassing mistakes weren't permanently recorded on the internet, the modern obsession with broadcasting every milestone feels deeply unnatural and unsafe to them. Furthermore, they graduated into recessions and watched corporate loyalty vanish and retirement funds evaporate. They know the system won't protect their kids, so they feel a heavy burden to build children tough enough to survive a volatile world. Today, Gen X is the ultimate sandwich generation. They are burning out trying to manage their own careers, care for aging boomer parents who think they are coddling their kids, and raise Gen Z and Alpha children who sometimes think they are too rigid. They are acting as translators between two generations that don't speak the same emotional language. At the end of the day, Gen X parents don't really care about modern parenting trends, expert advice, or external validation. Why? Because being a latchkey kid taught them that external validation is unreliable. They are navigating parenthood using an internal compass calibrated by their own childhood ghosts. Yes, they will let their teenagers make the same mistakes twice so they can learn the hard way, but they will also be sitting up at 2 a.m., ready to listen without judgment when it all falls apart. They are trying to achieve the ultimate balancing act, handing down the fierce independence of the 1980s, wrapped in the emotional presence they always wished was waiting for them when they unlocked the front door. If you related to this breakdown, make sure to hit subscribe, and if you want to support more deep dives like this, click the Join button to become a channel member.